Getting plat might be one of the easiest things you can do in Valorant. A few months ago, I made a 30-day routine for players to hit plat, and oh my god, did you guys do it. Bam, 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 bam. So today I am updating that routine, and although I think it's so easy to get to plat, I know many of you don't. It can definitely be a struggle climbing out of this hole if you don't know how to. I am Slayerkey, the Hardstuck Immortal coach, and by the end of this video, you will have everything you need to hit plat and above. And remember, if you follow this routine strictly and still do not hit plat, I will give you free coaching until you do. First up, hop into the range for 10 minutes of warm-up. For all these routines, we will only use the Vandal and be doing a 2-shot into a strafe, the 2-strafe Slayer. This is a great start for any warm-up. So to practice, pick any wall and fire 2 bullets, then strafe and do the same. Repeat, rewash, redo. Make sure to push your limits by increasing the pace every day. If you start getting movement error, you're doing the right thing. This will be our primary fighting style during our training and during our game, so it's vital to have this down. This is near the game's limit for how fast a player can shoot accurately, while also being the hardest target to hit. The rest of our warm-up will be adapting this to real players and real fights. Once you're done with that, go ahead and do practice spots with no strafe, and start by choosing a single bot and tracking it as you go left and right. Then every time you stop your movement, do a 2-shot. Continue to do this for 30 seconds or so until you feel ready to move on. Next up is medium movement. We go over to speed, turn on this, then start, and we're going to do the same thing. Continue moving. Once the bot spawns, stop and shoot. Stop and shoot. You're going to keep doing this to the end of the practice. Your goal up there is to get 25. There you go. Next up, we're going to practice on moving targets. Finally, go ahead and turn on strafe and eliminate 50. Hit start. And now we're basically doing the same exact thing. Continue moving. Once the bot stops moving, do the 2SS until eliminated. This guy's going to continue to move. Stops moving. Continue to go until he's eliminated. Stops. Continue to go until he's eliminated. One nice thing that's fun to do for this is to let them move and then just match their movement. This way you don't even have to move your crosshair. And this is also really helpful in actual fights, using your movement to actually aim for you. Your goal for this one is to get done in 120 seconds or less. That is the end of our range warm-up. After this, we are just doing 1 to 2 regular death matches. During this, we're going to be focusing on taking 90% of our fight in the 2-strafe Slayer method. And while we're looking around for fights, we're going to be practicing pre-aim and crosshair placement. I will also link a helpful crosshair placement video to make it a little bit easier for you. Now that the warm-up for the games is done, we're going to be playing 1 to 2 games applying the 3 rank up principles. The first one is the rule of 2. You must follow the 2-man rule. If you are down by 2 players, you must make a risky play, such as pushing deeper into enemy space to take a fight, or if you are up by 2 players, you must stop taking risks, such as regrouping behind teammates to trade them instead of taking a fight. Rule 2 is look for the weak spot. Don't keep fighting somewhere or someone if it's not working. Poke around and find the weak spots, which is usually mid, or find the weak players, which is usually Reyna. Use intel to find where players tend to not be, or even where that bottom fragging trash can on the other team is. Abuse their weak spot. If the other 2 do not apply, we will instead make decisions around our teammates first, then utility second. Here are some examples. Try to benefit your teammates' play in any way. If they're fighting, fight with them, or hold an angle for them. If they're playing more aggressive, how can you help? Keep in mind that this doesn't need to involve risking your life. And if they're using an ability, play off what that ability is doing. If you can't find a teammate to play around, look at your abilities. Abilities are the surefire way to gain an advantage in any situation. So you must use abilities when fighting any enemy who is expecting a fight. So if they're holding you, if they're in the open about to clear you, you want to gain that advantage. And you must not use abilities when your teammates are fighting in front of you, fight with them. You are lurking, flanking, and have yet to be spotted, or you are not there to play off your util. That last one is a big one. If you can't play off your util, there's very little reason to use it. Now that we've covered the 3 rank up principles, let's talk the 3 derank principles. Number 1, choose to absorb blame instead of deflect it. You don't want to look at your teammates' mistakes, you want to look at your own. So you want to ask yourself, what could I do differently instead? And then you can go back to, would that help me improve? Number 2 is waste pre-round time. Avoid going into a round without any plan of what you'll be trying and instead yapping nonsense or listening to this video for the 20th time. You want to start a round with, I'm going to try to use this piece of utility here, I'm going to ult sight, I'm going to clear close with the flash, I'm going to try to lurk mid this round. Some sort of plan. Number 3 is beating yourself up. I've seen this way too often in players who have so much potential, who don't recognize that the rank, the stats, and outcome of a match does not say anything about yourself as a player, and any mistake or whiff or bad play you make in game, if you recognize it's bad, then you know what would make it good. So remember, you are only human and you are trying to improve. To improve, you must make mistakes, and making mistakes is not something you can control. So that's everything we're going to do in game. I would suggest focusing on 1 rank up and 1 derank principle for a week. And then on the last week, just revisit one of the ones you feel still need improvement. The very last thing I would also recommend for the players who really want to just become the best player they can be is to get 1 third-party VOD review a week. VOD reviews are one of the most underutilized improvement tool. Instead of mindlessly and frantically trying to improve, you get a secondary perspective to give new and fresh ideas. Don't be the one on the road trip that says, I'm not lost, when you're surrounded by a dirt path and trees. So record a game and give it to anyone. Anyone you feel like you would like feedback from. If you don't have someone, cough, loser. Just kidding. But if you're looking to improve, we will also be running group coaching, 5 stacks, and weekly scrims.
Go.
One lucky person who joins this week will get a VOD review from yours truly, so don't hesitate. It is the catch-up looking tier, so click the link on the screen or in the description to stop struggling alone and start improving with a group that's got your back. I will see you soon.